Here is a sobering number I need you to sit with for a second. The median American retires with less than $90,000 saved, not 900,000, not even 150,000. Less than $90,000 to fund potentially 3 decades of living expenses, healthcare, housing, food, and everything else that comes with being alive. And here is the thing that should genuinely rattle you, that is the median. That means half of all retirees have even less than that. Some have absolutely nothing. So the question I want you to answer by the end of this video is simple. Are you on track to be above that number, or are you quietly drifting toward it without even realizing it? My name is Sara, and I have spent years breaking down personal finance in a way that actually makes sense for people our age. I have read the Federal Reserve data, I have studied the behavioral patterns, and I am here to give you the real picture without the sugarcoating. Here is what we are doing today. I am going to walk you through exactly why most people end up so far behind, which specific behaviors create the massive gap between struggling retirees and comfortable ones. And then at the very end, I am going to share the single most important insight in this entire video, the one thing that can genuinely change your financial future. So stay with me until the end because that last part is where everything clicks. Point 1. The numbers are worse than any advertisement will ever tell you. Financial companies love showing you glossy projections of people sailing on yachts at 65. What they do not show you is the Federal Reserve data. According to their survey of consumer finances, households in their late 50s and early 60s have a median retirement savings of around $134,000. That sounds okay until you realize that is the median for people in their final working decade. By the time those same households actually reach retirement age, that number drops further because they start spending it down while waiting for Social Security to kick in. The average Social Security check runs around $1,900 a month. Combine that with drawing down a small nest egg using the standard 4% withdrawal rule, and you are looking at total monthly retirement income somewhere in the low 2000s. Think about what $2,000 a month covers in today's world. Rent alone in most cities eats more than half of that. The point is this: the retirement picture most people are heading toward is not comfortable freedom. It is financial survival with zero breathing room. Know where you actually stand before you assume you are fine. That is your first takeaway. Point 2. The real enemy is starting late and it costs you more than you think. Here is a comparison that genuinely blows people's minds. Someone who invests just $200 a month starting at age 25 and then completely stops at age 35, so only 10 years of investing, will end up with more money at 65 than someone who invests that same $200 a month every single month from age 40 to 65. Read that again. 10 years of early investing beats 25 years of late investing. Why? Compound growth. The earliest years of your investment life are the most powerful, not the latest. Every single year you delay is not just 1 year of missed savings. It is 1 year of compounding that never happens, and the further you are from retirement, the more each of those missed years actually costs you. Takeaway here is urgent and simple. Whatever you are investing right now, start tomorrow, not next month, not next year, tomorrow. Point 3. Job changes are silently destroying retirement wealth at a massive scale. About 40% of workers cash out their retirement accounts when they switch jobs. That statistic is absolutely staggering. Let me paint you a picture. Say you are 28 years old and you leave a company with $15,000 in your old 401k. You think, hey, I need that money right now, so you cash it out. After the 10% early withdrawal penalty and income taxes, you walk away with maybe $10,000 in hand. That feels like a win in the moment. But here is what you just actually did. At 8% average annual returns over 37 years, that $15,000 would have grown to over $250,000. You traded a $250,000 future retirement for a $10,000 present-day purchase. The action to take here is non-negotiable. Always roll your old retirement accounts over. Always, no exceptions. Still with me? Good, because this next section is exactly where most people make the mistake that quietly seals their financial fate. Point 4. Saving money and investing it are two completely different things, and the gap between them is staggering. A lot of people in their 20s and 30s actually do contribute to their 401k, but they leave the money sitting in the default option, which is often something like a money market fund or a very conservative stable value fund that earns 2 to 3% annually. The difference between 3% returns and 8% returns over a long career is not marginal. Someone putting in $400 a month for 35 years at 3% accumulates roughly $295,000. The same person with the same contributions at 8% builds a portfolio closer to $870,000. Exact same money, completely different outcome. The only variable is where the money sat. Check your 401k allocation today. If you are under 45 and your money is not primarily in diversified stock index funds, you're leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Point 5. Your savings rate is the most powerful lever you have, and most people are barely touching it. The difference between someone who retires comfortably and someone who retires with under $90,000 very often comes down to one number: what percentage of their income they saved consistently throughout their career. Comfortable retirees typically saved 15 to 20%. People who end up in the median range saved 5% or less. And here is the remarkable part: consider two people earning $55,000 annually their entire careers. One saves 5% with a 3% employer match, the other saves 15% with that same match. After 35 years at 8% returns, the 5% saver has roughly $400,000. The 15% saver crosses $1 million. Same income, same employer, different savings rate. The extra 10% of savings, which works out to roughly $15 a day, is what separates a financially free retirement from one where you are choosing between medication and a car repair. Automate a higher contribution percentage starting now, even if it is just 1% more than you currently do. Point 6. Debt in retirement is an emergency nobody talks about. Here is something that does not get nearly enough attention. Many people who end up with low retirement savings do not just have a savings problem, they carry debt into retirement. Car loans, credit card balances, home equity lines of credit. When your fixed monthly income is $2,000 and $300 of it goes toward debt payments, you are not just tight, you are one unexpected expense away from a genuine crisis. The wealthiest retirees almost universally enter their retirement years debt-free or very close to it. They treated eliminating debt with the same urgency as building savings. Aggressively attack high-interest debt before you add more investment dollars above your employer match. Get to a debt-free baseline and then accelerate. Now here is the most powerful insight in this entire video, and it is the one I saved specifically for those of you who stuck around. The retirement gap is not an income problem. It is a behavior problem, and behavior is the one thing you can actually change right now. The top 10% of retirement savers in America do not earn dramatically more than the median. They are not trust fund kids or tech millionaires. What separates them is that they made their savings invisible. The money moved automatically from their paycheck before they ever saw it. They built their lifestyle around what remained. The median saver does it backwards. They spend first and try to save what is left over, and nothing is ever left over. This single behavioral flip, paying yourself first through automation, is worth more than any stock tip, any hot investment trend, or any side hustle strategy you will find on the internet. If your contributions are manual, you will always find a reason to skip them. If they are automatic, you will always find a way to live without that money. Set up your automatic contributions today, increase them by 1% every 6 months, invest in low-cost broad index funds, and never ever touch that money when you switch jobs. Do those 4 things consistently, and you will not be anywhere near that $90,000 median when your time comes. So here is my question for you, and I genuinely want to hear your answer in the comments. Which one of these mistakes, starting too late, cashing out a 401k, saving too little, or having the wrong investments, has cost you money already? Drop your answer below, because I promise you are not alone, and seeing your comment might help someone else make a better decision today. If this video opened your eyes to what your retirement picture actually looks like right now, subscribe, because this channel is dedicated specifically to helping millennials break out of financial autopilot and build real wealth on a real income. We do not do fluff here. We do actionable, honest finance content every single week. And if you want to go deeper right now, check out the video on exactly how to build your first investment portfolio from scratch. It is the perfect next step from everything we just covered. The median retirement is not your destiny. It is just what happens when you do nothing. Go do something. I will see you in the next one.